So I counted, and there's this parachute gliders. There's 8 of them. They went right over the house before I came out, but there's 8. Saturday morning, I'm out on my morning walk with the dogs. So I just wanted to show you those flyers. So I'm going to pause this until I get out on the mountain. I have other things that I want to talk about. So I got here to the side of the mountain. I'll show you. And this morning I woke up. I have this new thing. I have my coffee with me. It used to be I get up in the morning, I just jump out of bed. Anymore, I get up in the morning and I stay in bed for a little while, and then I do my meditation straight in bed. And this morning when I was laying in bed, I was thinking how it seems like I'm always with this twin flame journey. I'm always running after something. It seems like I don't have the quiet in my mind just to, oh, today is the day. Like I was trying to think of the difference between how I was before the twin flame journey, before I met my twin, and how I am now. And it seems like that chasing energy, it doesn't let you sit um, so much in the moment. You're always like chasing. So it even when you are sitting in something that you're doing, you don't get completely, you don't allow yourself to completely um, like dissolve yourself into what you're doing, because there's always something on the side that's waiting, or something that you know, some kind of pressure of chasing, or there's always some kind of agenda on the side, or some kind of something you're waiting for it to happen. And I woke up with some kind of resolve in that area, some kind of resolve of what will be. And I was thinking, if I'm all the time waiting for something to happen, then what about these moments? Because these moments are the moments that my life are happening in. Every moment in your life is precious. Every moment in my life is precious. It's part of the existence. There is no one moment that is more miraculous than another moment. It's all just different experiences. And that my life is what I make it to be. My life is literally what I make it to be. I can't just sit in my life and let the moments pass and wait for, specific moments and say, okay, in those moments I'm living, or wait for somebody else to come along and make my life what I want it to be. Somebody else doesn't even really know what I want my life to be. Not even the people that are closest to me. And that was another thing. I had a conversation with my father yesterday. I went and sat with him, and it was another one of those conversations about that they just don't get it. They don't see the rising, the spiritual awakening. They see me pulling away, and they think of it as some kind of cult or some kind of and that of course is coming from the perspective where they are coming from, because in their worlds these things exist. And it's cultism or following, or um, that idolizing my twin, which I do think great things of him. Um, but I see that I'm so far into this new world, that those things are touching me less and less. It used to be that, let's say, 6 months ago, if I would have had that same conversation with my father, it would have shaken me up. And now there's something there that kind of, I can see where he's coming from. I can totally see his perspective because I understand it. I understand the place that he is sitting in. The toda'ah is like the perspective and the um, place that he's sitting, which he's sitting tightly in the matrix. Now he's a very spiritual and very outside of the matrix in some ways. He has spent his whole life studying history and philosophy and the stars and science, and he's interested in all of these. He's really genius, and also has a very big presence. My father's he's also a big physically, but he also has a presence to him. He is when he walks into the room, he takes all he gets attention. People are drawn to him. People like him. There's something about him that lets off this aura of bigger than life. And he taught us very good values and right from wrong as according to his perspective. And he did a really good job with us. I feel blessed to have had him and my mother as my parents. But in this new thing, which is it's it's funny. I have my believe in magic pants on. Um, where he can't see the rising. He can't see the new world. He can't see the breakaway from this way of thinking into the next world, or the next way of thinking of the connection with the all. So if you ask him on a physical level, he understands that we are all connected, and that so I'm trying to pinpoint here. Um, but he can't see the mystical connection, or the connection to the all that comes through the spirit level into what we're calling the 5D world, or the new world, or onto the next level of existence of spirituality, or the higher planes of living in heaven on earth, of the connection to the all. And then you get into this flow where everything just works with you and for you, and you are in this constant state of um, plia. Plia is like amazement or wonder of this world that we are in now, where you can come into the now and live the now, and everything else that is going on, it's still going on at some level for who, but in your existence, you can experience this life as heaven on earth and surround yourself with people and communities that are all living this same perspective, and it's all together. So you still live in uh, coexistence with everything that else that is in existence, so with the matrix. But it's when you pull outside of it and it doesn't rattle you, that's not you go by higher laws, you go by the laws of God, or by the laws of this existence, or by the laws of um, the all, or cause and effect. And when you live by those laws, then all the other man-made laws and uh, are I don't want to say obsolete, because as much as you can, if it's within the laws of cause and effect, then then why not? I mean, you can live in peace and harmony with all of the beings, also being able to see their perspective, because in order to come out of that perspective, first you have to be able to see the perspective. It's just like I was saying with the conversation with my father, is that I can see his perspective because I know it well. I've sat in that perspective before, and he's really rattled. But when you start pulling out of that perspective, then you still have that perspective. You can still see it, because you've been there, but you have a higher perspective to where you can, it's kind of like sitting up above and you can look in. And I'm coming up to this, rising up to this place where really sitting outside of the matrix, but understanding the matrix. But when you sit outside of it, it doesn't move you. It's like you're sitting a level above. You're sitting in the level of existence where the laws of attraction and the laws of vibration and the laws of nature and the laws of cause and effect and the natural way of things and the cosmic um, laws apply, which are not just laws. It's not laws, it's just ways of being. And when you correct yourself to be in tune with the natural way of cause and effect and the natural way of things being, the natural nature of how things grow, um, and you see the truth in it all, your faith is unwavering, unshakable. So it's so strong because you just see the truth of it, that the other things, they don't really matter. And you can really watch um, people that are still stuck in there, or people that are judging according to that, are stuck in some ways and other ways not. And you can rise above it and you can see it, and you can actually have empathy and understanding for them. And you also tend to, in the beginning of this journey, you want to explain to everybody because it's so wonderful. It's wondrous. You want to explain to everybody, come and look, come and look, come and look. And it's almost like you want to pull people. And it still have that place of where you sit in this higher realm. You want to help people rise into the higher realm, but not at it's from this place you can see when people are ready, or when people are wanting or searching for the higher level, and you begin to understand that those people are magnetized to you, regardless of what you do. So there's no need to chase after. People that want the message and that are ready for the message will find the message because they're searching. And people that don't want the message aren't ready for the message yet. People that don't understand it and are stuck in their own way, there's no reason to get into any kind of any kind of argument with them, or try to push my perspective onto them. Just like the conversation that I had with my father yesterday, I sat and I listened to him, and at the end of the conversation, it was actually for me, it was enlightening for me to see at my level that I was able to sit with him, because my father has always been a source of inspiration for me, a source of strength for me, a source of, I would come to my father to get advice, and he's a very good advisor in where he is. And he's always had a very strong effect on my life. His word is always, I always take his word and weigh it because of his wisdom, and because of how smart he is, and the things that he's done, and his faith and truth, which he's always, told the truth. His truth is always told his opinion, regardless of whether it's going to hurt me or not hurt me, but he's always said his truth, and I respect that. And I think that anybody respects somebody who's strong and tells their truth and doesn't waver in it. And for me to be able to sit with him yesterday and really listen, I just sat and I listened to him. I didn't ask for that spiel, and I didn't ask for what he opened up and started telling me. Um, I actually sat down with him because I missed having philosophical conversations with him, but the conversation went to the area of my twin and what I've been going through in this last year. And they see my twin connected to it, which is true. All of these big changes that have happened in my life are because of meeting my twin. But my faith is so, I've gotten to a place where I feel like sometimes, where the student bypasses, where the student passes the teacher. And in different ways, we have talents in different ways, we have different ways of thinking. And on this spiritual journey that I am on, first of all, it's an individual journey. And the sweetness of rising and correcting myself and coming into myself and finding my own powers, and really going through all my emotions and going through everything that I've been going through, and a lot of it a lot of it, anybody who has been following my videos can see me going through it live, from one day to the next. One day I'm crying, the next day I'm strong, and it's going through all of these things. It's been a few days since I've seen my twin, and I still feel, when I talk about it, I still feel like I miss him. I miss him. I do. But this morning when I woke up with this feeling like, but every moment in this life is is precious. The moments that I'm with him are magic moments that I get to be with him, but the rest of the moments are magic moments that I get to enhance my life and make more happen in my life. And I was thinking also about my father, and also about myself, and also about my twin. My twin and my father, they have a lot of areas that they're very similar in. And it's so funny. It's so funny to see how my father does like it's so funny because it's just like me and my father. My father and I butted heads a lot over the years, but it's because we're so similar and so strong-headed and so opinionated and so um dominant, but dominant in a positive way, not in a negative way, like in a positive way. We stand out and have our own opinions and are strong and have presence. And we're so similar in so many different ways that we butt heads. And it's so funny to see that my twin and like to see my father uh, when because they're so similar in so many ways. It's funny. It would seem like they would be comrades. You would think that they could really really appreciate each other. I think my twin does really appreciate my father, even though he can really he my twin sees through people. It's a talent of his, and it's like magic to watch. Uh, but but also he sees through my father, and I can tell by the way by things that he said to me before that just crack me up because and I can see that he says it like in a loving way. Um, I feel like my twin is already part of the family, part of the dynamics. It just the it's like when you take sugar and you dissolve it into water. It takes a while for it to dissolve and become part of the water. So I think that his coming into the family, it's like with each person he has to resonate in there somehow and fit in, because my twin is going to be in my life in this way or another way. He's part of my life, and being part of my life is part of being my family and my family's life because the it's like sugar and water. He's already part of me. He's already become part of me. It's his energy. He has a very, very, very um, wide and strong energy field, and the vibration is our vibrations like mix when we're next to each other. So being around me is also kind of having to um, accept part of his energies because they're in me already. So the family is adjusting. But there was something that so I was saying about coming above all of the matrix and coming into your own, and realizing that when I'm when I'm with my twin. And I realize that I don't really have any kind of control over that anyway. I do and don't at the same time. It's paradoxical, but in any case, we're going to meet and come together. And I feel like even if I'm more involved in my own life and my own becoming and spend the time, oh, there's some deer down there. I'm gonna try because they're just right down there. It's next to that bush. I can't even see it with my eye now, but once they move, it's right there somewhere in that field. Where'd it go? I think it's standing still and you can't see them. They're like camouflage. Okay, well, it's not moving.